Train up a child if you don't, it's egregious. Train up a child if you don't, it's egregious. No allegiance, agreement, obedience. Train up a child.
Shalom.
We consecrate the Father in our seasons. Preferring holy over holly is our prefix. Holy days over holidays believing. Leviticus 23, but they as a priest reading. My children know we don't vote, and here's the reason.
Shalom, Yasharala.
And even though my son's a genius, the wisdom of this world is foolish, it's the most I deemed it. First Corinthians 3:19, where I got that from, just in case you need to see it. And we don't argue with
This is your brother His Will coming at you with another build. Brother, today we're going to turn up a little bit. Shout out to the Power Circle. Shalom, brother Divine Lee, Justice, Leon the Servant, Rollo on the 7Talk. Thank you for coming in. We're going to have an open panel today, but before we have this open panel, I want to talk about something. I'm going to say my piece so I can get my open panel time out the way. I know Israel be like, bro, you can't have all the time. So today we're going to be talking about, as far as I'm concerned, is training up a child. I got an article, and it's more than just training up a child, but it's showing us how deceptive this system has become for the Israelite family. So let me pull up this article real fast. Hope everybody can see it. Is that it? I'm kind of not savvy with this, so just bear with me real fast. All right. Yeah. So this is it. St. Joseph County, Indiana. And I had to bring this up because I'm a little around that area. All right, here we go. A man was arrested. And this is going to be nuts, man. A man was arrested for allegedly hitting his son with a belt as punishment for his misbehavior, according to the probable cause affidavit. On February 23rd, and this was brought out today on my little news app that I got. But apparently on February 23rd, the Department of Child Services received a report of possible child abuse involving a 5-year-old. The victim said he received a whooping from his father, identified as 28-year-old. You see it. The victim had lacerations on the back of his legs, according to reports. DCS spoke with the victim at his school, and he told them his father whooped him with a belt that made marks on his back, on the back of his thighs. The victim was given a forensic interview, and he stated the same story. He also said the whooping caused the back of his legs to bleed, reports say. Guyton was interviewed and said he used the belt on the victim approximately 2 weeks ago, according to court documents. He said the markings on the victim were caused by the belt, report said. The brother said he got a call from the victim's school regarding the victim's misbehavior. Regarding the victim's misbehavior, the child's misbehavior. He said he brought the victim home and whooped him with a belt that's only used for whoopings. Not beatings, whoopings. Guyton said He removed the victim's pants and underwear so the victim could really feel it, according to reports. He said he then bent the victim over on the bed, sat on his back while he struck the victim with the with the belt documents state. The victim received multiple wounds, and Guyton said he became certain about the injuries. He said he kept the victim home from school, had soaked him in the bathtub, and applied cocoa butter on his wounds. And this brother got charged with battery on a victim less than 14. Now, I'm just gonna go to some scriptures real fast, cause I ain't really got nothing to really say. I'm gonna let the Bible say everything. So we're gonna be going to Proverbs 22, 6 through 8. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fall. Now, his will, why you bring that out? I'll tell you why. It has gotten to the point in our community where, after all of these years of them beating us, shooting us, stomping us, all of a sudden, we got a problem here. All of a sudden now, no, you don't need to whoop your child in order for them to listen to you. When I know that when you read certain um, historical books about them coming here, you got statements like we're gonna have to do this by force, because they wouldn't really be they wouldn't really appropriate being enslaved. So we're gonna have to come by force. I think it's a book called Dogs of the Conquest. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the name. Dogs of Conquest. And these people went way over the edge to make sure that they kept us in slavery, right? Because we wasn't going. But now all of a sudden, this is how they make ways to try to um, keep our children from respecting us. Well, I'm gonna do what I want, and if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna call the oppressor, because he said you can't do that no more. Only he can. That's how I see it. I might be, I might be off, but that's how I see it. But if that's not enough, well, let's go to, oops, Slacky, sorry for that. Let's go to Proverbs again. I'm probably gonna Proverbs y'all to death today. 11 and 22. 23, Salakia, 23. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Now, I'm pretty sure when we chastise our children, it's not because we trying to kill them. It's not because we want to show them who's boss. Even the Most High has chastised us, right? So how in the world is it even possible that our community, we want to riot for everything else? Why haven't we protested? Leave us alone with our children. Let us raise our children how we know they need to be raised and not how you want us to raise them. Because soon as that child turned 18, he goes out here without any discipline and do whatever he wants. And why is that? Well, it's because y'all decided y'all wasn't gonna train up y'all children right. Well, the only way we know is the same way that the Most High had did to us, punishments, reproof. Now, I'm not saying whoop your child for everything, but you're not gonna sit here and tell me that I can't whoop my child after this is how y'all programmed us. It's not going down like that. And it's a shame that this brother even had to be even had to they even put him in the paper. I know a lot of people like, well, bro, why you putting his business out there like that? This is not, I'm not putting his business out there to scoff this brother. If your child, and then Esau plays the victim, the oppressor plays the victim, they're being bad in my school. Now, you know good as well, we not going for no acting crazy in front of especially people that have already put a plight, put a yeah, their plight has been to disintegrate our being. I'm not going. Um, Proverbs. Once again, I told y'all it's gonna be all day, and I put it in twice. So um, it's the other one is Proverbs 2:15. Sorry for that, brothers and sisters. Sorry, Salakia. All right. So we got Proverbs again. Nope. I'm a baby with this. Just give me a second. Proverbs 12. Proverbs 12:5 says, the thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsel of the wicked are deceit. When we discipline our children, it's because we want them to do better, not because we want to kill them. But as we'll read later, if you don't discipline your child, it's just the same as you allowing them to get killed in the streets. You do realize that, right? Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what the that's exactly what the enemy wants anyway. Don't allow them to learn everything that they want to learn. Don't allow them to be able to succeed. You make sure that you do everything possible it is to keep them from rising. And if they feel like, and if you feel like I'm wrong on this, then either you don't have children or you still have a yoke around your neck of bondage. Once again, just in case if the chat didn't see it, okay? Proverbs 12:5. And it reads, the thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsel of the wicked are deceit. I don't think I've ever met a brother or a sister that was actually just they loved beating their children. Never seen it before. But how is it that all of a sudden it's okay for our children to be out here doing everything possible that they want to do, but we get the blame at the end when they're grown enough to catch charges on their own. These are things we need to talk about. Well, why is Will? Why is it so important we talk about this? Well, it's important that we talk about this because this is the reason why we out here dying. This is the reason why we out here locked up. Because our parents aren't the same how we were. When we were younger, well, when I was younger, no holds bar. You better not embarrass me. You are a representation of me. And if you're not out here doing what you're supposed to do and you know you got common sense, then maybe I need to give you a reminder. We were reminded so many times in slavery what we were supposed to be doing. And if we didn't do it, what was going to happen. But now that we have the ability to bring our children into the truth or bring our children into obedience and discernment, guess what? Now it's no, allow them to do everything that you taught them not to do. And you bet not do nothing about it. Proverbs 22:15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearken unto counsel is wise. See, they want our children to be fools. It's clear as day right there. They want our children to be fools because a wise person, he hearkens to counsel. But majority of our children, even when you hear in the music these days, the young people is, it used to be, it used to be, they just said, I didn't grow up with my dad. Now they done went overboard and they saying, I didn't even grow up with my grandmama. I grew up in the streets. Well, who was your dad? The streets. That sounds kind of off to me, man. That's just me personally. Brother Leon, the servant says, I don't know about y'all, but it sounds like the father wasn't just trying to beat his son, but teach a lesson when he saw the wounds and administered aid, just which an abusive father wouldn't do. Exactly. That was something that I wanted to bring out too. This is no way, there's no way possible that any person that loved their children in their right mind would say that man was wrong. He even went so far as tending to his wounds. That sounds like my mama to me. And it shouldn't be like that, man. We claim we all over the songs and stuff, and we're saying what we are, what we'll do to an end, all of this, but nobody is out here telling our so-called oppressors, look, you're not gonna tell us how to raise our children, because unlike you, when our children, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna give you a raw and cut. When when they discipline their kids, 9 times out of 10, it's sexually in some way, some wicked way. They think that that's right, or they wind up killing them, or they literally just get beat. They just constantly getting beat. It's That's not even discipline. I don't I don't see how we even are on this type of level, man. How is it all of a sudden, if the Most High even gave us authority over the family as a whole, how is it that we going through these things and nobody wants to realize it? But they supposed to respect us when we go marching for somebody that got killed by the police. When the police and everybody else is like, You worried about the sleep in somebody else's eye, when I can guarantee you better not tell your child what to do or what not to do. And I'm gonna show you why right here. 2 Samuel. Let's go to it. Give me a second. 2 Samuel 7:14. Let's go. And it reads, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. If you do something wrong, it's biblically law. If your child does something wrong, it's biblically lawful that you chastise them. If they're out here, if you've taught them the commandments and they're not out here doing the commandments, it's lawful that you get on a butt with the rod of men. I'm just I'm just trying to bring something to the table, because I don't think people are understanding how much control we really don't have. But it's our responsibility to bring up these topics to show people, look, man, um, I'm not going through this again, and neither is my grandchildren. You gonna act right, you're gonna listen to what I'm saying. I don't care about what the principal's saying. I don't care about what the police saying. Only person I'm worried about is your mother or your father and the Most High. That's it. That's it, man. Just like the brother said, we have to be stern. It's not in our nature. It's not in our nature to just be passive. I mean, come on. Look at every we claim that if we claim we know the Bible, we've read the Bible, and we see those are our ancestors. Those are the same. That's the same way I was raised up. If you can say that a person is wrong for whooping a child, then guess what? You don't know these scriptures like that, and you don't understand the Most High really. You really don't know the Most High. Give me two more scriptures, and I'm gonna open up this panel in a minute. Matter of fact, while I'm sitting here playing, I'm gonna put this chat in the link real fast. I'm just linking the chat, and give me these two. Let me get these two scriptures done, and I want to hear what the people got to say. And we don't have to talk about that topic as well. That's just what I wanted to bring. I wanted to rant a little bit. I seen an article, and I felt like I had to bring that to the table. I mean, I understand that we are all on one accord about, oh, we got to get together as a nation, the men and the women, this is what they got to do. But what about the children? Everything that we learn, the children are gonna learn it and then have to be an expert at it. You see what I'm saying? So it's our responsibility to bring this stuff out. We can't just sit around and think because we following the commandments that that's where it's in. We got to understand, if my child do something worthy of chastisement, then I have to, because I'm breaking the law if I don't. Oh, you don't think so? Okay. All right. So let's go to Proverbs 10 and 13. Since you think I'm wrong, Since you think I'm wrong, let's go to Proverbs real fast. Whoa, it's right there. 10, 13. And it reads as such. Since you think I'm wrong, you think I'm tripping, right? All right, watch this. I hope everybody can see that. It says, in the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him, Salakia, that is void of understanding. Excuse me, let me read that again. Proverbs 10 and 13. In the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Now, if you don't understand that, you need somebody to put a rod to your back. There's no reason why we out here acting like, oh, I'm a king, but you're not doing what kings do, because kings gonna get their house in order. And let me see. Let me get one more scripture, and I'm finna open up these lines. And it's a blessing once again for my brothers and sisters to be here. I even feel I feel good just knowing that there are people out here that understand me. And if you don't understand me, hopefully we can get an understanding. Proverbs 13 and what was it, 4, I believe. Yeah. Since I'm out here acting crazy, right? Everybody want to act like his will is wrong for this. But if I'm wrong, then may the Most High deal with me about it then. Yeah, Proverbs 13. Ooh, Salakia. 13, 4, I believe. No, let me quit being lazy. 13, 4. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that definitely wants the scripture. Anyway, I'm finna open up these lines. I'm pretty sure I got my point across. I'm pretty sure I did. Um Boom. And we adding my brother Rallo on the 7Talk. Shalom Akim.
What's going on, Akim? I'm on the road. What's good?
Yeah, out here trying to piss some of my people off. That's all.
I know that's right, man. Got to get them stirring in the right direction because many of them don't want to be corrected. They just want to stay safe and play safe and don't want to get to the point. And then they wonder why we still seeing what we're seeing because that's what they want to see. That's not what we want to see. You dig what I'm saying? It's like you want to just stay where you at. And then the thing is, when you show them and then they get it, they go back to the same people that don't mean them no good. That's another thing, you know?
Big con. And also we we seem to have lost the fact that we are not out here just pushing this for us. We are here actually for our children as well. And it's important that us as men, if we have children or we plan on having children, we like you said, we got to be stern with what we're doing because these people are not out here playing with us. And on top of that, they're gonna blame us when misfortune happened to our children.
That's exactly going on right now. And because of that, we have to talk about this not only on a public platform, we have to show it through actions, which many of our brothers and sisters in the truth have been doing, particularly the brothers have been showing through their actions that they are stern and they are very balanced of what they do. And most people don't want to deal with it because they consider that contagious. I consider that life. That's true life. If somebody see I'm doing something wrong and they check me on it, that's somebody that means well. Somebody that's being quiet and not saying anything, and they just happy to see you not, knowing what's going on, then you just as worse as the enemy you talk about.
Big con. And it's brothers like us that it's important that we do that, man. There's no reason why we should be out here, acting like we got it all together if we don't even have our own house in order. If we don't have our house in order, then how as a nation as a whole can you see what I'm saying? Even in the scriptures, it says if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. And I remember when I was younger, it wasn't too many places that I could go that if I did something wrong before I got home, I got chastised because now you making my friend or my sister, my auntie, whatever, you making her look bad. And that's how us as a whole nation and a community of people should be. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
I'm at the gas station right now, so I'm gonna let you talk for a few
Uh-huh.
more minutes. I'm gonna put some gas in the car. I didn't
Yeah.
want your thing to be hearing all the noise, all these trucks and stuff. So I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah. So if anybody even try to tell you how to raise your children, that that's enough. If you're not part of my community now, I know a lot of people may hear me speak about the difference between us and the two-thirds. But if you a two-third and you don't, so I probably know you probably don't even have your house in order anyway. But if you in this truth and you know other people in the truth and you around their children, you need to you supposed to be just as stern as if they were your own children. Now I'm not saying whoop them, but you supposed to have an eye on them. We have to watch our children. But you know, like I said, this is not the only thing that I wanted to talk about. Brother Rollo, whenever you get a chance, if you got anything that you wanted to bring up, this is a good time. It's always a pleasure to build with all the family, whether brothers or
Oh,
sisters.
absolutely, absolutely. What I was gonna say is, remember you was asking me the question about the gas situation and why the regular was in the middle and
Yeah,
silver was in the left side and ultimate was on the right side,
con.
because we are the ultimate and the regular is the people that's coming up, and the silver is like you in between, in the truth and not in the truth. So a lot of stuff happens in the middle. So you have a lot of people that's still dealing with regular stuff. That's why I said the gas was absolutely right in Long Island, because when I grew up, regular was always in the middle. And so when you deal with regular stuff, it's always in the middle. You're in the middle between ultimate, which is dealing with the left side of things. I
con.
mean, silver dealing with the left side of things, and ultimate is like you know what's going on. You ultimately want to get to a certain point in life. So when
Yeah,
people put, the big gas, the ultimate, you're gonna pay a lot for it, but guess what? That gas is gonna last long. But when you deal with regular, it's like, okay, been there, done that. It gets you but so far in life. So like the truth is the ultimate thing than anything. You could talk a lot of good regular stuff, yet if you don't have the silver perspective, meaning getting to certain things in the ultimate perspective, then you don't have really enough that much perspective.
yeah. That's that's a good point that you brought up too, because I understand that a lot of us we are going to be the ones that wake the world up. And once we wake the world up and people start um, being able to, I guess I could say, um, a lot of people be able to convert to what we're doing, we have to have the discernment. We got to be the stronghold to have the discernment of who's really doing this because it's a fad or because it seems some type of trend or wave, or and who's ultimately in this. You know what I mean? So that was a big. I like that. I like that gas thing. I was like, what in the hell? I'm trying to figure it out. I looked on there for like 5 minutes. Like I'm trying.
Yeah, because I want our people to have a sharpened mind because we hear so many things and great things and wonderful things that we seeing our people doing. And it's just like I see more than that in the people. I could see us going even further than what we going. And so that's why I did something that most content creators will look at as what is he talking about? Another thing is when I went to go support the sister in her business and the way I dialogue with her was just based on business because I was talking to her 2 years ago and she was just like, you know, talking, and we was politicking in Brooklyn. And I said to her, "You and your man, within 2 years, y'all gonna be having something going on." So it's interesting that during the what situation, she made the adjustment because she was managing. She said, "No, I want what's best for my family," and her man supported her. And shout out to Black Male Vice because see, most guys got to pay attention to these opportunists, ladies and men. And we had a behind the scenes conversation. I said, you was around people that was opportunists because now they see you doing well. And she said, yeah, Rollo, I know some of those, chicks that I was going to do something with, they were just being opportunists. They really wasn't really down with my business. They just like when I was just behind the scenes doing regular stuff. So that's
Yeah.
why I brought up the gas situation because a lot of our people just want to be regular, and we're not regular people. Yeah, I get regular gas because right now it's affordable, but is it really affordable? No, it's not really affordable because by the time you get on the road, it's already gone. So we're not regular people, we ultimate people, man. We more than just regular folks. And that's why I use that terminology. It was just like one of those situations that when I made the trip out there to do the order, I didn't expect to see that. And so when it came to my attention, it just the Lord just worked on me to say that. And I was like, okay, let's see what the people gonna say. So when I saw you in the comment board session, I said, yeah, he gonna eventually we're gonna have this conversation because I know you was thinking like, wait a minute, I wanna know what's going on. Because we don't have the answers to everything. There's certain things you say, I'm like, okay, I'm listening to what he's saying, I'm gonna ask him and see what he's talking about. And that's what brings us together, man. It's the gathering, the ultimate gathering, which needs to happen real soon. Because we just doing regular stuff on here. It's just when we get together and get the gathering happening soon, that's when the ultimate, that's when the power will get stronger and stronger and stronger to the point that it will knock out their electricity. And that's what they're really afraid of, more than anything.
Yeah, big con on that. And I wanted to touch on when you were saying that we need to be sharp. There we living in don't the scriptures say that we'll be in a place where we don't even know the tongue. Only thing we know about this language is everything's confusing. This got to be one of the only languages that have synonyms and antonyms. You know what I mean? And us being sharp and being able to realize the tactics that they do, like we gotta understand. I'm not telling people be paranoid, but when we look at signs, gas station signs, restaurant signs, all of these signs and stuff, they're telling us something, but we don't know, but we do. We just a lot of times we think, well, I'm tripping. That's all. That sign that doesn't mean what it means. You know what I'm saying? Even like with the gas station uh, post that you put, seeing that I knew it was something deeper, but I didn't know what. But anybody else, the average Joe, especially like the average 2/3, or anybody for that matter, they'll look, see something, and push it off as if it's not what it is. And that's like my last session when I was talking about pondering without paranoia. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of times we look at when we look outside the box, we have to look outside and not just keep everything in, you know what I'm saying, a box. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and on top of that, to answer everybody was wondering why I said I was on edge, is because of the things I need to take care of right now. And when you have a conversation with the Most High, and He knows you more than anybody, of course, and He sees that you're on edge, He don't want you to be over the edge. I'm not trying to be over the edge. I'm just on the edge of what's going on, and you have to make certain moves precariously, and you have to make sure you feel everything on point, because you don't want to miss out on what's really important and the sacrifice that comes with it. And so when I see, you upcoming YouTubers doing great, you got your stuff together, you got the scene and everything, and you're motivating the people, it's very important to recognize that there are people that's not opportunists. They really want to see us do well. And they know in return the Most High is going to take care of them, and the brothers and sisters will also contribute from time to time. And I appreciate your support, because you have shown your work when you came over to New Breed, and then you started taking into consideration of doing your own thing on your channel. You allow people to come on prospectively with respect. And I see how you mod, man. You one of the best mods in the truth, man, because you always catching on to detail. And a lot of people, I see that potential in them. They just don't want to get to that point. Like I see it in you. Like when you type something, it just clicks. Most people, it takes time for them to adjust to that, because they're not used to that, hearing that. Most men, I realized, and I had to sit back, because when I was coming up, men used to say, hey, man, you got to catch on to certain things quick, because you got some slicksters out here. So a lot of the young people, a lot of people my age, is still naive. And I'm going to put out a particular YouTuber, there's no disrespect to him, and he said he give people the benefit of the doubt. I give people the benefit of the doubt, but I also use discernment, because there are snakes in the grass, you know?
God, and to anybody watching, anybody that is subscribed to Rollo on the 7 Talk or Rollo Speaks, I want to bring out something, and it's the Most High is also, don't it say he's a man of war, which means when we also know about the Messiah, and when he comes, he's not coming for hugs and kisses. So there's no reason why anybody in the truth that understand these scriptures should even judge a brother when he gets to the fact where he's telling the people I'm on edge, because we're not supposed to be passive. That's what this world has done to people. Period. It's like you shouldn't speak how you feel. You should hold it in and bottle it in. But that's not our culture. We don't do that. And it's important that we have brothers and sisters in the truth that will be able to, express how we feel. And if everybody, and if when we going live and we speaking how we feel, you shouldn't feel bad about that. And anybody that feels some type of way, they 9 times out of 10, they're the problem. So yeah, brother Leon, the servant, nice
Before
to see
Leon
you in.
speak, my bad, brother, as well. Before Leon speak, because I'm gonna drop off, I want to say to everybody, I appreciate y'all listening, and it has nothing to do with y'all. It's what I'm seeing, and I know y'all send me stuff, and I appreciate it. But when you got so much stuff going on, you got to make sure that's taken care of before you speak on what's going on with the situation you're speaking of. Because I know a lot of brothers really, really rock with me, and really rock with me in this truth, and they send me certain things. It's just certain things I don't want to see, because I already know about it, and those people are not really trying to help our people. And it's hard for most people to understand that, because they think you speaking bad about them. It's not that. It's that you want them to see, hey, if you want to listen to it, cool. I don't want to listen to it, because I'm on a different frequency. It's like you want to get fed, or you just want to be entertained. It's nothing wrong with entertainment, but are you going to want to be fed while you listening to some entertainment? Because we are fun. Because a lot of people think we boring. No, we're not boring people. We could make the party better than most parties that people could go to. That's what that's what makes me laugh at these folks. Oh well, we boring people. Oh, you really think we boring? Okay, all right. So then why everybody keep every week want me to go to certain events? But I just don't say nothing about that. It's not bragging or boasting. But people calling me for events right now. Y'all hear my thing ring from time to time because I'm using the phone. It's either an event or can you do this? Can you do that? But I thought I was boring. So don't let these people tell you that you're boring. And I know you brothers ain't boring because I'm not boring. So I definitely know you're not boring. So I'm gonna drop down the other servant, man. I'm gonna email you brothers because it's supposed to be an event Saturday. So when y'all get a chance, look at your Instagram. We might have to do it earlier, the show.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
So if we can't do it earlier because y'all got things to do, we could do it the following day. So y'all let me know. As well, I want you to come on too, man. So your brothers' channels could grow and people get to know you more, man. Because it's important for us to do this from time to time on a daily basis, but we know that many of us got things to take care of behind the scenes. So with that said, Shalom, brothers, I'm listening while I'm on
Shalom.
the road.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Peace.
Peace, peace. Yeah, anybody, I'm pretty sure everybody on this channel already know who the brother is. But if you don't, um, I'm gonna ask one of the mods to please, can you put brother Rollo information in the chat? It's always a blessing to have that brother on. Brother Leon,
What it do,
what's the
family?
word?
Back
Come
here
on,
again,
talk to me.
man. I mean, you hit on some pivotal conversations, some pivotal talking points. I had to, I'm still wrapping up, getting everything ready for the live. That's why it take place in the hour, give or take. Down by I do. But I was like, let me drop in real quick and chop it up with the family, because you're bringing out something very pivotal and important. It's an impelling idea, if you mind. But uh, so first off, let's just address the thing that you had shown earlier about chastisement. And for anyone who might find that a little hard to digest, I want you guys to swallow on the pill that the Most High sent His chosen people, the people He loved, to slavery more than one time because they wouldn't get on the accordance that He set for them. But if He will let them stay in their folly and in their foolishness and in their stupidity, that destruction will only be in their path. I just want you guys to ponder on that, to think about that. And I mean,
That's a compelling idea right there.
bro. And then
Fine.
when you start bringing out other nations, I mean, it used to be once upon a time that was dealing about our people. We used to make fun of other nations and be like, "Yo, look at their children, man. They talking back to them and everything. They're using these corners and they're not really working. Oh, I don't care, mom." And then they slam the door and things of that sort. I was like, "Well, that was my house. The story go much different." But we're getting to a point where we can't even say that anymore. And that's something to keep in mind as we're trying to make these righteous households and we're fitting the mold that the Most High is getting. The Most High is a man of order.
Kind,
So as we move forward, understand that everything has to be done in decency and in order. You get me?
kind. Yeah,
Um, go ahead, Al.
before you run with the topic that you got at hand, I wanted to say something on that. It's it's super imperative that us as a nation understand that if the Most High, if we want to be like Christ or want to be like the Most High in His image, we have to do exactly how He would do. When he there's times that He showed us mercy, and there's times where mercy had ran out and He had to do what He had already promised to do. See, one thing that I notice about a lot of um Israelite men is that we allow things to bother us, and then when we go off the Richter scale, in our mind, we're thinking, well, they should have known that, you know what I'm saying? They should have known how I felt. But the Most High, He didn't do that. He He said, look, if you do right, you're gonna be good. If you don't, then I'm gonna get on you. It wasn't
Absolutely.
like, so a lot of people, when they say, well, how is it that God's real if He allowed these things to happen? Well, how is it you haven't read them scriptures yet? So you can see why.
True. True. Um, that's very true. I also wanted to hit on that topic that Ralph was talking about being ultimate, regular, and the silver situation, because I thought that was cool. I actually wanted to say, man, I was confused and dumbfounded what he meant too. I was like, maybe one day he'll just bring it out. Um, for those who don't know, like I watch a lot of other people's videos, but I don't always comment. I like them and I'll share them. But I don't always make the time to comment on them because typically I'm doing something, I'm listening to something, but I'm trying to do active listening, which is something I actually wanted to bring out real quick. Active listening is your defense against ignorance and your defense against pride. When you actively listen, you're trying to understand what someone's saying. That means that you allow yourself to let them paint the picture, let them carry the conversation, so that you're able to move forward intelligently as you go on. Um, but yeah, I heard that and I was like, you know what? Uh, we are ultimate. I mean, our ancestors were all legendary people, literally changed time on the cutting edge of new discoveries, and that's because we serve the Most High, the Elohim of Elohims. You know, now with understanding that you're legendary, understanding that, uh, frankly, the Most High will elevate those who elevate Him, right? Um,
Yeah, God.
with all that being said, now are you going to walk like it? Are you going to move like it? And one of these things that kind of goes back to the first conversation is, well, are you willing to get your house in order? What does that look like? What does that entail? What does the scripture say? What is right? Or are you going to go based upon what society says is right? Well, apparently you could look down and you not know if you right or left. You don't know if you are male or female just by looking down, and that's an issue. You get me?
Yes, yeah, straight up. Hey, yeah, man. Just like we
So
was talking.
go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So I was saying that aspect is that if we keep dictating what these other nations say, if we keep wanting to be like the heathen, right? Because the scriptures warns us not to be like the heathen. And a heathen is anyone who doesn't subject themselves to the law. Remember this, because other nations can join on and become part of Israel. They're just not the seed of Jacob, right? The literal seed of Jacob. Let me
God,
specify because people get in their emotions, right?
God.
So with that being said, we're told not to desire any of their ways. We're told not to desire anything of the oppressor, but we take that and we pretend like people can break every single commandment in the Bible and still live. We have to remember we serve the God of the living. There's no way you're going to break all 613 commandments that they say there is and see another fruitful day without the mercy of the Most High. And like there won't be consequences. I'm telling you, you're not going down the street. You kill one person, you sleep with another person's wife, you go steal this, and you go do this. That there is not going to be something that comes your way. So obviously, when we see these other people, they do a fragment. And I mean a very small fragment of what is right. And then they circumference it with everything that's evil. Because truthfully, family, you can't break all the commandments in one day and still expect to live the next day. Honestly, you're like testing the Most High. And guess what happened when Christ was talking to the devil, right? And the devil was like, "Well, you could jump off this cliff, and there's going to be angels that come from heaven and protect you." And what did Christ say? You shall not tempt God. A lot of us are walking today and we're tempting God on how merciful will he be today? How much grace is he going to give us today? And I'm not to say that his grace is not more abundant than our sins. I'm not saying that. But should we sin so grace may be abound? God forbid. Romans 3. You get me? So when we're using this mind frame of assessing the world, what way and how do we do that? Do we do it via the scriptures or do we do it via social media and modern society? And that's a very important conversation. And how do we move forward and moving on what side we decided? You feel me?
Oh, yes, Khan. And even though a lot of us we aren't awakened yet, if this just this little bit of information can get out to the community, then maybe somewhere we can open up, people can open up their eyes and see that we are the ones that are supposed to set the tone.
Hmm.
Just like, I always bring out the same, I'm always going to say this. We claim to be something that we're not.
Mm.
Even those, even like in the music and stuff that we hear, we hear them say, "Oh, I'm a king," but they're peasants and the enemies, and they're peasants for the oppressors, and it
Hmm.
makes us look like, well, these are the type of people that they are, because we're claiming to be kings and stuff. But then we come into the truth, we know we kings, but there's still always, it seems to be something that holds us tight, that keeps us from having a king mentality.
True.
And a real king is gonna he a real king is gonna go out for his, for his palace, for his nation. He's not gonna sit back and just be as a lot of us are, and it's like, well, I'm gonna let them do them while I'll keep my house in order. And that, they try to bring out Jeremiah as for me and my house, we should serve the Lord. But we are a house together as a whole. We are the house of Israel.
What didn't I thought that was Joshua, but either or. Didn't
Joshua,
that prophet didn't that prophet say that to everyone else as an example? That was one. And two, what was Christ about? The first thing he started preaching was like, repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Everyone said they want to be Christ like. They call themselves Christians. They call themselves brews who follow the Messiah, right? And the Messiah said, well, if you about my father's business, be about it. Don't put anything else in front of it. And he went to the expression of talking about family, but that wasn't to say that we're cutting off family in the aspect of we just won't talk to them because we're about this. But more or less, if they can't get with it, then okay, well, I got to do this regardless of what you think because it's pressed
uh,
upon me. And if you come back and we can always make amends, you know what I mean? Because I don't have any enemies. Me personally, I don't have enemies. There's people who make me out to be an enemy, but I walk in peace.
uh,
I have peace beyond understanding. How can I have peace beyond understanding if I have enemies? See, Satan is not even really an enemy. And the reason why I say this is because he's already a defeated foe. We
uh,
already know the end. So if I just endure just this little bit, this small time fragment, well, then I already know who wins. I already know where I stand. So is it
uh,
really a battle when you see the end? Is it really a game when you already see the final boss? You
yeah.
get
No, for real though. This is not a game. It's very important that we realize this is not something to be played around with. Have we ever wondered why there are certain things happening? The reason why is because we're not doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And I understand that the Most High, He has grace on us and He allows certain things to slide, but that's the reason why it's kind of important. I try to tell people, know your spirit before you hop in this, because once you know something, then it falls back on you 7 times.
yeah. Oh, and that's a but that's also a punishment, family. So
Exactly.
the punish and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. But the scriptures say that we will be reprimanded 7 times for our sins,
Con.
right? And if we're trying to protect, let's go back to the very first incident because it's very important. Like I don't think people understand if you're not able to operate in what the scriptures say you can. And okay, we can say that maybe the father went a little bit too far, right? But he saw that applied aid and took him out of school, and he's like, you know what? I had to show you this lesson, but I might have did it just a bit too far. Here's some ice cream. Go play the game. Da 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 da. I'm not really furious with you, but you can't keep walking down that road and think you're going to survive and live. Right? That's very important
Right.
that we understand that. So this world does punish us 7 times for a lot of our sins. I mean, there's already been plenty of videos talking about, well, why does this brother has to do almost life for 20 years when a person of another nation does a more heinous crime and really serves 2 years, has a fine and it gets right off. I mean, there was a huge thing back in like 2020, I think, because it's around that whole incident with the guy dying with the knee thing and maybe it was a little bit before that, but it was blowing up at that time. Is that there was a Caucasian male walking around with an AR, right? And that was unloaded, if I'm correct, if I'm recalling this right. And the police were called. They just spoke to him. He said, I'm just doing my right. I have the right to open carry. Da 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 da. It was done, squashed. Now, a brother does the same thing in the area. You have 6 different cop cars coming up, and this going on, and he was handled very roughly, right? And I bring that out because you can't act like this is our land. You can't act like we're not in captivity. This is why I say just because you're doing well, just because you got $1 million in your bank doesn't mean your nation has $1 million in their bank. And that's a big difference. Because when us as a nation rise, well, then that means our image changed. That means the way that we walk change. That means our political power change. That means that we ascend these stigmas. And only then when you could do something like that, because you have your own community, you have your own place, and you could walk around following the laws of the land and not being chastised and scrutinized for being who you are, being of your nationality. Just wanted to bring that to the forefront. I want to see if I can bring out the scripture
No,
for 7 times.
you know, every time you speak, it's like I hear everything you saying, but it just come in my mind frame, right? And I'm gonna say it like it is. How in the hell do we think that we have the audacity to okay, so we say, oh, um, we built this land. This land was built on our backs, but we don't act like it. And then we wonder why we around here lost. We don't act like it. Now, anytime if you put work in, right, and you build up something, don't you put pride in it? If we
Absolutely.
if we acted more how we're supposed to be, and that's kings and queens, princes and prince, then the enemy would have no choice but to bow down and say, you know what? Um, we done did everything possible we can to these people. We even done had secret meetings certain times of years to try to keep these people stagnant. So, you know, I'm always gonna come. You know me, bro. I'm gonna come both ways. So it is our fault while we going through what we're going through,
Absolutely.
but at the same time, guess what?
Hmm.
If you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, then you're on top of, or at least equal to what you see the enemy doing. So you could try to get ahead. And the only way we can get ahead is as a nation as a whole.
Absolutely. Now, I don't want to say it in the aspect of like, yeah, this is a script I was talking about. I'm about to bring that up in 1 sec.
All right.
Um,
Just let me know when then, I guess.
yeah. I don't want to say it in an aspect of like, okay, well, you're doing okay. That doesn't mean anything. No, it means much, but to much where much is given, much is required. Not
Right.
the whole with much is power, with much power comes responsibility. Now they stole that from the scripts, family. The scripts say, the scripts say to whom much is given, much is required. So now that you have this knowledge, remember, knowledge is the reason why our people were destroyed. For the knowledge, the lack of the knowledge of the Most High,
Right.
from listening to His laws, His statutes, His commandments, for forgetting our God, forgetting our commandments, forgetting our covenant. So now that you know these, you are now held to a certain level of accountability to walk like it, to talk like it, to act like it. Now that might be slightly different for different people because I don't expect a whole bunch of sisters to go yelling at brothers because that's out of line, it's not in order about well you're supposed to be doing this and you're doing that and doing this and doing that. But through your actions, through the way you conduct yourself, right, and common and decency, that you should be bringing these things out. These conversations, just like with Divine Lee, I see he's in here, my co-host for the Brew Table Talks. These conversations, our last Brew Talk that we did, was supposed to be happening with you on a day-to-day basis. We showed how to build on communication because it's important to have these impelling ideas, but not to allow them to crucify us, to allow them to be our sword, our weapon, so that we can destroy these strongholds. You
Exactly.
feel me? All right,
Exactly.
I'm gonna bring that up when you are.
Just like you said, it's our responsibility. Why do you think in the old times those laws that seem so harsh, it was exactly what the Most High said it was. If you catch your brother doing this, there's scriptures where they went to war and then they told them, and the Most High told them, don't take the spoils. And then
Yo,
one,
I read that. I know what you're talking about.
is it, I
Go
think
ahead. Go ahead.
and he tell him don't take the spoils, and he take them, and everything just started going wrong with Israel, and they like, well, who did it? And it was already told, don't take the spoils. The Most High said this. I didn't say this. The Most High said this, and he did. So his whole family had to suffer. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying? And but he was
Yup.
taking responsibility. It may sound harsh, but if we lived through shooting, we lived through the crack epidemic. We lived through prison and everything, and we can live with these laws, especially
Right.
when the Most High start putting pressure on us, because it's not always going to be, oh, well, no, with this, well, we can't do this anymore, so that law is kind of not really in effect. It's going to be a time where, and we may not be around, but there'll be a time where, the Most High going to put pressure on people like, is you with it or not?
Exactly. Let me build on that spoil thing, right? Because let's bring that to the forefront, being our brother's keeper, and how it messed up his family, but how we see in scriptures that this could be avoided as well, right? So practically more or less they go into war, right? And then after the war, the Most High says, don't take none of their spoils, burn them, everything. We don't want none of that, right? And there's certain charges that was given at certain times in the different wars that wasn't exactly like this. They were able to take certain things, but that's not the case in here. So it's also important to listen to what the Most High says right then and there. Don't always try to misappropriate what He says, right? So there's this one guy who sees this and he's like, "Oh, this is a little come up," and he took it and he hid it. Now the price that he had to pay was him and his whole family was cut off, and I believe they was put to death, right? But people would be like, well, that's not right. How can he be the one who, for his wife and his children being completely cut off? Well, did his wife stop him and tell him, well, that's not what the Most High said? Did his children come and stop him and say, that's not what the Most High said? See, when there was a similar incident going on with Saul and David, and Saul, not Saul and David. No, yeah, Saul and David. And Saul's son says, you know what? I see what my father is doing, and it's wrong. It's against what the Most High said. And I pray that, and he was talking to David, and he was also making this known to clear his name and the rest of his lineage, was don't cut off my lineage from the things that's happening. You get me? Let this be this peace offering so that we don't have issues, so that that issue stays with my father and his folliness. See, and that's how we have to move forward, family. If we see something wrong, even with our elders, yes, we can come in love, but they're stuck in their ways. Well, we got to do things to clear our name. Because if not, we follow under their tutelage, we're going to fall. And I thought that was very important to bring out on that. But can you bring up that scripture real quick?
Yeah, got you.
All right. So we're in the Leviticus 26, verses 13 to 20. I thought I should give a little context because, people don't like when you just pull on scriptures. Even if I'm bringing in context, we're going to read along. We're going to read along today. All right. And it reads, I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out the land of Egypt, that you shall not be their bondmen. So you should not be a slave. And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright. But if you will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, it says all, family. So I know we're working, I know we're improving, and this is why it's important and imperative that we learn and we listen to it. Because that's what happens. This next verse happens. When we don't know those commandments, we don't know his statutes, we start to hate them. Let's go on. And if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that you break my covenant. See, this is why we have to study it. This is why we have to align our will with the Most High, not try to have the Most High will aligns with our will.
Straight up.
That's
go
ahead, Al.
No, go ahead. Never mind. We'll talk about that.
I also will do this unto you. So this is your punishment. This is your judgment. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning alge. Right? I think I'm saying that right. That shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And you shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
No, I can say it's gonna be coincidence.
No, I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, the burning hours that consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And you shall sow your seed. Your children shall be in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
Woo!
Like we didn't have the whole alligator situation during slavery, but
come on,
let's keep going.
Get out my head, man! Get out my head, Aki.
And I will set my face against you. See, this is what the issue is, family. We not listening to these commandments, not aligning our understanding to the Most High. We have him set his face against us. Because we got Amos 3:3. He says, can two walk together lest they not understand, lest they not agree? You get me? Man. And the Most High is not going to change for us. We're going to change for the Most High. How dare you think the Creator should change for the creation?
Man, this done turned into a whole nother episode. This is unlocking the Israelite mind.
Oh, man. All right, let's keep going real quick. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies, that they hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when no one pursueth you. Man, how many brothers go hear those siren lights and they didn't do no wrong, but they running anyway?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? And it reads on, and I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass.
See? Now look. What people they not trying to understand is when he says, I will punish you 7 times more.
I straight skipped over that joint.
Yeah, I zoned in on that.
Mm-hmm.
But we not see this is now. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. When we look at our life, right?
Hmm.
We see, well, people in the world they see the how history was as far as electronics. Well, they couldn't have lived without a phone and stuff like that. And then you think about how spiritually you read the scriptures and you be like, well, the Most High was speaking to them,
Hmm.
just little things like that. And you be like, well, I wish I could hear audio.
Con.
You know what I mean? And so we got to understand that verse 18 is really telling us how far we fell. And if we know we fell, thank you, Khan. If we know that we've fallen that far, we need to follow the right direction that 7 times more harder.
Hmm.
See now what, bro? Can you find that scripture where it talks about the forgive your brother? I think 70 times
70 times
seven.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring that out real fast.
Give me 1 second.
See, man, see, bro, you got me on preacher mode all of a sudden.
Bro, I mean, this is kind of part of the conversation because family, we're not talking about how we supposed to be getting right, how we supposed to be doing right. Then what's the point of having these conversations? And
Con,
the answers in that is always in the scriptures. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, every wise piece of information that you ever heard, it came from the scriptures. I'm gonna say it.
yeah.
I'll be the bold one to say it. I'll be
Now,
the bold one
see,
to say it.
now you gonna get me on another subject because people gotta. All right, I'm not gonna be. I'm not being an asshole when I say this, but the Gentiles don't have that type of mind capacity to know all to have. You know what I'm saying? To bring that type of stuff into existence. Their
I'm gonna
mind frame isn't that. They can't imagine righteous.
I'm gonna
Once
say
you
it like this, Ak. The Most High handed to a certain people for that people to bring it out a certain way.
Con,
How can a people who have not endured the multitude, like, think about it? It's the scriptures say that no one has been done like Israel. No one has been through slavery, been at the top, went through slavery again, been at the top, went through slavery again, went at the top, been banished for 400 years, and have the promise.
con,
No one else can say that. And then all the other punishments that went through those slaveries about forgetting their people. Yo, what people do you know don't know who they are, don't know their heritage? Like, brothers be speaking about this, but people just like let that go over the ears because everyone says it. And I don't think a lot of people really sit down and let's really talk about it. Go to a Chinese, go to a Vietnamese, go
con,
to someone who's Irish, go to the Irelands, go to the French. They can tell you what their people have been doing back into the biblical days, more or less. Now,
con.
we as a whole, as a nation, most of us don't even know who we are. Now, imagine all the plagues and the idea. Imagine a kid growing up never knowing his parents, but wondering why they have certain inclinations to doing certain things. Because that stuff gets passed down through the seed. Don't you think? Why do you think there's generational blessings and cursings? That's a good question. Why do you think when Israel blessed his children that those are also traits found in each nation?
Bring it out.
Well, let me stop. Because I might be going somewhere too deep.
You man, you got in less than 30 minutes for
I
your
know.
little thing, right? I'm telling you, you know how we get down, bro.
Yeah, I plan on getting out of here in like the next 15. But I brought that script up for you for 70
Okay,
times 7, loving your brother. It's ready whenever you are.
okay.
Matthew 18:21 through 22. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, or to Christ, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? 7 times 7? He's like, just a few times, like 49 times, give or take, I mean, right? And Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee 7 times, but until 7 times 70. Or 70 times 7. I messed that all up, but y'all can see it. Let me read it for clarity's sake.
Huh.
Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. There you go.
Now listen, Israel. Do somebody in the chat? Somebody can anybody pull up? How much is that?
70 times 7? I got you. Well, 7 times 7, if I'm not mistaken, is
Yeah.
49, is it not? Yes, it's 49. So 70 times 7 is 490.
All right. So look, how much more? How listen to this, Israel. How much more has the Most High forgiven us if He just gave us to forgive our brethren 490 times? How much more has He forgiven us? So when we come out here and we're judging the brothers, only way you should be judging them is if you're cleansed from everything that you're trying to judge them from. You're
Oh
not.
man, you about to have me snap. You
You're
bringing up so many things like a precept.
not. All right, come on, man. You all praise to the Most High.
All
You know what
praises.
you get what I'm saying, Israel. Somebody confirm that
Look,
y'all know what I'm talking about?
yo, all right. Yo, how about what's the Day of Atonement for?
The
Why
day of
does the Most High have one day out the entire year where you go and you confess his sins and he washes them away?
come on, man.
As a day to purify and cleanse yourself between you and the Most High. Every year. I mean, some people sin up to 1,000 times before atonement. And he says, all right, cool. We good now. Let's move forward.
Right.
And casts those things out of remembrance. You feel
And we
me?
got and we got the audacity to tell a person, oh, if you're not following the way that we're supposed to go, then
Bro.
you
If it's
deserve
not a
hell.
heaven or hell issue, and people make a heaven and hell issue too many things. But if it's not a
Come,
heaven or hell issue, it shouldn't cause strife. Let's
come,
talk about heaven and hell issues, how narrow this subject really is. Law, statutes, commandments, Christ, done. Everything else should not cause strife. Whether
right.
you're a vegan and I like to eat meat, whether or not you believe that we're supposed to start the day from noon to noon, or from the nighttime to nighttime, or from day to hour to day. That is not a heaven or hell issue, family. It's not. It's not. Whether you think the feast days is this day and I think it's that way because I use this calendar, that's not a heaven or hell issue, family. It's not.
Right.
I'm not saying I disagree with you in the aspect I don't believe in the law. I don't say I don't believe in Christ. So why can we not come and reason together? If the Most High can tell us, come and let's reason together with his creation,
I'll tell
how
you
much
why.
more can the creation supposed to reason amongst themselves?
Uh,
And I also wanted to say this, talking about the purity thing. Before you try and check others, you should be checking yourself. Why was it that when the priests, the Levitical priesthood, had to cleanse and purify themselves before they can cleanse and purify for the children
that's
of Israel?
bruh. I was just man,
That was
bro.
the precept I wanted to bring out.
That's crazy.
Man, to say this is none of this is scripted. We're just talking,
Yeah,
bringing some
man.
impelling ideas.
You know, before I close out, I need everybody to understand that we're not here to bash anybody
Nope,
or what they believe.
nope.
It's right there. It's we sometimes as Israel, sometimes and I'll give it a good reason why, because we were our father, he knows everything, you know what I'm saying? So it's just spiritually in us, whether we know it or not, to try to know everything. And then when we do that, we start judging wrong way. We judge people the wrong way. We're not looking at it as my brother. We're looking at it as if I'm the most high now because I got the very little information that I do know. But if we know that the Most High is so infinite, how do you remember that one? I did a short, and I was talking about uh how you can't, yeah, how can you say a person is a fool if you don't even know, something that I was saying, basically you don't even know how the Most High works.
True.
And I said, I already see it. I'm on you.
Pride. That's the whole issue. Only by pride comes contention,
Let's get it.
strife, dissensions,
Con,
arguments, debates. Only by pride these things come in. But with the well advised is wisdom. You
man.
can't be well advised unless you're not taught. You can't be well advised unless you don't learn. And in order to
Con.
learn, that means you gotta sit down, shut the hell up, and listen and
Yes, sir.
reason and ask questions and inquire. But only through pride, family. And this is why when the Most High tells when we come to Him, first we gotta humble ourselves. And Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, the very first thing He asks from us is to be humble. Because this pride, this stiff-neckedness in the wrong direction. We need to be stiff-necked in the Most High's direction. A lot of
Con.
us aren't. And that's a issue. That's a problem. And we
I
create
pull
more
up.
problems.
I
Go ahead,
pull
bro.
up Psalms 119 and 66.
19. Oops, wrong button. And 66.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Got you.
Teach me a good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say give me, it said teach me good judgment. We
Mm-hmm.
can't think that since we know since okay, the jig's up. We know who we are. We think all of a sudden we have the right to judge, but we're not understanding that we need to ask the Most High to give us the correct discernment and when to judge and how to judge.
Absolutely.
But look at the last end of it. It said, "For I have believed thy commandments." That means you doing anything that you trying to tell somebody they shouldn't do. You're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just be honest. A lot of us aren't on that. We talk. A lot of us say, "I love my brother," but you always see disdain in him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just bringing it out there. You get mad at Leon. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, they could be mad at me, yo. Because guess what? They're not mad at me. They mad at the Most High. Because I'm not
Con,
saying I'm not misappropriating scripture. I'm not bringing things out of context. I'm saying exactly what the scripture says. And this is why we had that conversation at the very beginning. I believe this is why Israel brought it out. Is because, bro, if we can't do what the scriptures tell us to do to get ourselves in line, then we are never going to be able to get taught the good judgment and
right?
knowledge because we believed in the commandments.
Con.
And
How
believing
can you
don't just mean that you listen to it, but means that you do it, you follow it, you practice it.
con? How can you say that you following the commandments if you're not teaching them to your children, man?
Exactly.
If your children out here doing they're like I said before, they're a reflection of you. And I mean all the children. When I say children, I mean all the children. If you see, I don't care if you see one of yours. When I say yours, I mean your nation. You see them doing wrong, you need to find some type of way to correct them.
Exactly.
That's the only way. I don't care. I don't care about shoot. Most High, like I told y'all, I'll snitch on you if I see you doing something wrong. I'm going to the Most High with it, and then I'm coming to you with it. And if you keep continuing your folly, then guess what? Hopefully, maybe a congregation of communion can get together and show you you're wrong. And I'm not being over righteously. I'm doing exactly what is supposed to be done in order for us to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about nobody else, but I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the oppressor telling us what to do. The more truth that I know, the more I'm like, you know what? To hell with y'all. Y'all can't tell us. Y'all don't have the right to. It's
Guess
that's
guess
the
what?
biggest, huh?
We sick and tired of being tired.
Straight up.
That's how we getting. A
I
lot of
really
us
wish
tired with the oppression, but we sick and tired of being tired. Go ahead, out.
I really wish I had a. I wish there was a female that one of the sisters that could come in here, man, so they could get a input because this is not is we claim we talk about family all the time, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't move as family. A family doesn't consist of a mother and her kids, or
Mm-hmm.
or a man and his woman.
Well, if
It
that's the
consists.
case, if you don't mind, let me shout out a sister real quick because I saw that she been putting in the work recently, and I was like, this is one of the elder sisters that we do need. Um, that's Lon Diamond. And y'all should check her out. Check out her channel. Check out her perspective on the slap heard around the world between Chris
Con,
Rock and Will Smith, or what she's talking about the culture of twerking, and that's not us. And she has some other great topics and some other things talking about sisterly love and things of that sort, which y'all should check out. Especially you women should check out and see what
con,
someone of age and stature who adheres to the law and learning the law is saying.
con.
So
Yeah,
just
this
show
is
some
very
love.
like you always say. This is very pivotal, man. I hope somebody got something out of this, brother. I know you got 10 minutes, man. Let's
No, I got a little bit more. I got like 13, man. I'm over here uploading stuff right here, right now. You know what I mean? Working on it. But yeah, you're right. I got a few more minutes before I go live. Have a little
yeah,
live session about me being not always Leon the servant, but Leo the poet. Um,
nah,
and so some of y'all can enjoy some of the things I got going on to save this voice because it sounds like it's cracking up on me too.
nah.
Supposed to
I
be
seen
doing.
everybody in this. I seen everybody in this comment chat, and I'm pretty sure that's all that was on here. Y'all, I need to see y'all pull up on brother Leon, man, cause we gonna get it in even more. We ain't done. We anytime, any hour, you can get this work.
Most definitely, most
We not
definitely.
playing. Go ahead,
Uh,
bro. Give your last you know,
my
your
last
last
sentiments. I
comment,
got you.
man.
So, family, what do we take away from this? I think it's very simple. Is that obviously we gotta turn back to the Most High, but in the process of doing that, there's going to be others who say you're doing it wrong. And unless if you have the tenacity, the courage to push through and to be righteous, then you're going to be like the sower's parable, falling on stony places, falling in places of thorns and thistles, and being choked while you're trying to grow.
God,
Right? So as we move forward, it's important that we inspire each other and keep ourselves inspired to have an open heart and not to be scarred by everything that's happened. Learn it, use it as lessons, and don't allow these things to dim your light. Some of these things that happen to us is to be a reason why we have to show the light even brighter, not to dim it, not to hide it. What is the point of putting a light under a bushel? You get me? We are the salt of the earth. What is the
God,
point of salt that loses its flavor? It might as well be downtrodden. Well, family, I'm tired of being downtrodden. It's time for me to get charged back up. So
God.
I provide some of the saltiest salt. You get me? And with that being said, family, shalom and peace.
Peace. Shout out to that brother, man. Proverbs 27:5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. This message and this live was not to get people in their feelings or anything, but it was really to show everyone that it's time for us to grab back hold of our nation, grab back hold of our children, our family, and all topics that we spoke upon from Brother Rollo on the 7Talk and from Brother Leon the Servant, it was so pivotal that you can teach. Yeah, I'll do that. You can teach your children these things. You can teach your children these things as you learn them yourself if you don't know. So, this is your brother His Will coming at you with another impelling idea. I pray the Most High blesses you and keep you in perfect peace. And see you on the next time. Make sure y'all go right over, as soon as you click up out of here, to Brother Leon the Servant. Brother Leon the Servant's channel is right here in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Brothers of the Truth. Shout out to the Power Circle and all the OGs talking that OG talk. Shalom. Shalom.